Haiti. Off. Harvey, come. Harvey, come. Donna, come. Good girl. Harvey, come. Harvey, come. Come. Good boys.
Hi, guys. Hi. Oh, hi. Yeah. So good to see you. How are you? You guys remember Todd? Go say hi to Todd, Harv. Harvey, where's Todd?
All right, so we're here at Canine Games with Donna, Harvey. This is week 4 for them out here, so they've been cranking along here at camp, and we're gonna get a rundown of what they've learned. I think I get them back in 2 more weeks before we go to Cali. One of these 2 is coming. I'm gonna make them become champions. The one who does the best the first we get home comes with. The other one, better luck next time, asshole. We have a competitive house, and where I'm at, whoever's winning wins. It's none of this even bullshit. You want to be a champion? That's how you do it. So, they've both been killing it. Donna slayed it the other day. Last week, Harvey was on top. It's a lot of pressure for him right now, so we'll see what's up. But you guys have been here already, and we'll get the full rundown from Matt and the crew on what they've learned so far, and then some show of what they're doing, and get them off and running. So far, so good. We'll see. I kind of broke the rules and just came out and saw them, so I took them myself. But it's good to see they're already doing what they're supposed to, which is semi under control. They didn't just run over and say hi to these guys. So in the past, everyone out here would have been talked to. So we'll do a little testing here, see how they're doing once they go in.
Good job, guys.
All right, so we are here. It's week 4 of Donna and Harvey's adventures at Canine Games. And we're gonna have a brief rundown of kind of what they came here for, what they sucked at terribly, and where they're at so far. So when we got here, the big thing with Donna obviously was the leash. How long did it take to get the leash kind of changed up? She wasn't walking on a leash at all.
So it took about 24 hours. We did leave the leash on a little bit, not overnight or anything, just in the beginning, so that she was still in control, even in her crate, out of her crate, anywhere she went, she had the leash on. We didn't actually take any control of that leash, so she just dragged it around for that first 24 hours. After that, we went ahead and started adding some positive control to that leash. And then along with using the e-collar, we were able to give the association. The way I teach e-collar is strictly just based off of all the other tools we use in the beginning, and we replace it with that remote versus having to be right on your dog. Now you have half a mile to be able to do leash pressure, body pressures, even luring. So we use the e-collar even while luring, so it's a good activity. We're not, adding any actual pressure during luring, but we're replacing all of that through the e-collar.
So what is luring?
So luring is using treats or whatever it may be that they follow into the position you're asking them to be into. So if they were sitting here and I wanted them to sit, I could hold a piece of cheese and raise their head up a little bit, which then sits their butt down, right?
Right.
So that would be luring. So the whole time we're doing that, as soon as that treat comes into play, we're also adding that e-collar pressure, again at the lowest number possible, just to get that association.
Right.
And then we're bringing that back. And then as soon as that butt hits the ground, 1, they get the treat, 2, that pressure goes away.
Okay.
So they learn that 1, they can get rid of that pressure and they have control over that. And 2, they're still getting that reward right then and there,
right.
And encouraging that new behavior.
So what are the main, the basic commands that they learn and almost every puppy like them learns when they come here as far as the place and all those things?
Okay, so we got sit, down, come, wait, focus, place, and heel.
Okay.
And then our break command, which would be another command, is your release command for all your duration.
Right. Which is that's the one I think that for me they had to train me as off is no.
So off is for every unwanted behavior, no matter what that is. Also, if you can associate it in the proper time frame, which we do, if a dog starts to break and you're able to get that off in there, they'll eventually associate that means to go back into what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
If they're not supposed to be doing anything, they also know that. So if you off them, they're just stopping what they're doing now.
Right. Which is, we had a video that I put up earlier where Harvey was in place, and he started to step off, like his foot hit the ground, and immediately when he heard off, he backed up backwards back onto it. So that's a thing that we experimented with today, was just getting them to see how they would react with other people and distractions, and that's been a huge thing. When I came here, I told them one of my biggest issues was I had no control over the dogs once other people were around. As soon as I could have them staying with me, but literally if they saw you across a parking lot, it was a sprint to go see you, and it didn't matter what I said. What they've trained here was a way where literally when I say off, it's like they just immediately come back. I didn't even really have them like outside. I didn't really even have them in a place they just knew they were with me.
Yep.
And off, like you said, it just means basically in some cases, stop everything that you think you're about to do.
So that also goes into that focus. So in the beginning, we do teach a focus command. We weed it out because we want it to be a natural focus. So you telling them off after them knowing they were spending time with you, they immediately left you and you offed them. So they knew, okay, I'm going to go back. Dad wants me back there.
Right.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, which is awesome. So those are the basics that I'm seeing a huge change in, because that allows me to feel comfortable and in control of what they're doing. It's the attention. So when I get home, how do I keep that rolling? Is that just doing what we did today, daily practice?
Just the use of the commands and holding them to it. So I set up a whole schedule for you. When the dogs come home, you have a step-by-step, this is what you need to do on a daily basis until you get this percentage of compliance within the first ask, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a 3 command rule. When they go home, you're on a tap for the first command. So that just means you're using that button, you're tapping. You're just building that same association and the respect for you, and being that they're in that environment that they associate with all their negative tendencies and behaviors. We want to show them that, hey, just because I'm back home doesn't mean that everything I learned is over.
Right.
So once I always ask for at least an 80% success rate on that first ask with a tap. Once you do that, then we move into kind of weaning them, not completely off the collar. I always recommend to keep the collar on. It's a good backup, gives you that extra control. And I mean, if you ever lose your dog, you have a half a mile to be able to communicate with them because we've associated it properly.
Right. Yeah. Well, they don't mind it. I think, that's one thing I wish we could articulate, but the e-collar, people have an association with the word shock. And I came here and I just, me being me, wanted to see how far they could crank the thing up. And I want to say I was 3 times the highest a dog has ever been on here, and no issue. I could barely feel. Where Donna and Harvey, the level that you have them on, I can't feel it. I do like to drive home that the consistency of a schedule, just like bodybuilding and anything else, is they have a schedule. They've got a feeding schedule. They got a training schedule. They have a, relax or whatever you want to call their playtime schedule. So I think that's a key, that is a funny correlation between what I do and what the dogs do. And much like they say with eating, in bodybuilding they say eat like a dog.
Yep.
Because you eat a measured amount of food. Every dog in there has a amount of food they're supposed to eat, and humans don't do that.
Right.
We decide we're going to eat whatever the hell we want, and we wonder why we're fat.
Yep.
So
order a meal, whatever's in it.
exactly, it is what it is. So the scheduling is awesome, and I think the big thing that I try to push is, if you have a business or you have a job, you don't have time. I work from home. There's no way I can do my job and then do his job, even if I knew how. I think that's the thing that I've been pressing, and more and more people are seeing, is you were able to handle in a week what I couldn't handle in 7 months with Donna on a leash.
Yeah, so we get 16 hours a day hands-on with these dogs. And if you think about it, even when they are in their crates, it's not pointless time. So the trainers are still in the room, they're training other dogs, those dogs are getting that association. They're also being, corrected and rewarded for their behavior within the crates. So it's consistently 16 hours a day of non-stop interaction, whether it be with dogs, people, but there's always somebody around, there's always something going on, keeping
Right.
them stimulated. And
Harvey, come. Sit. Harvey, sit. Good boy. Good boy. Off, 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 off. Sit. Sit.